Hello everybody, you're here at Cladu Beauty with your host Claudia Lara, and today is an episode of fragrance. Now, this is a special episode because we are talking about my number one forever and ever fragrance. Now, yes, now that doesn't mean that I haven't found and enjoyed many others, which I will be talking about my favorite in other videos. But this fragrance in particular, I've been using it for years. Now, it is true that at some time I was like, enough, I need to find another my fragrance, just like this one was for so many years, but I need to find a new one. I have grown, I have matured, I have changed. And even though I have found many other favorites, which I will include in another video, I have come back to this one. It is just my favorite. So for some of you that have been following me and commenting and sharing some of your fragrances, well, here's our reveal video. Number one fragrance for me. Yes. So what am I talking about is D'LSSEY Eau De Toilette from ISSEY MIYAKE. ISSEY MIYAKE. And I can't pronounce this correct. L'Eau-d'Essey. I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, I listed down below. So this bottle I have like in my mom's home and I have like so many bottles of this here and there. I have a smallers that I have found in some special something sample sort of thing trouble. I have the roll-ons. I don't like the roll-ons at all. I don't like them in general. I don't think they smell the same as the sprayer fragrances, not just on this brand. But I do own it because in the purse or whatever. Love this fragrance. Have you tried it? So before we continue, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Okay, now this is a signature fragrance for myself, but I do know that it smells different or different people, just like any other fragrance, right? But I do remember when I used to work in corporate, people used to comment, we smell that fragrance and we know it's you. You know, those kind of fragrance that it's just, it reminds you of that person. Now, some of my colleagues or people that work for me tried it, bought it for themselves, and they say it never smelled the same on them. So I don't know how it would smell on you. I can only speak of how it smelled with me and why is my number one. Now, another little fact is my husband has not liked any other fragrance in me, none. The most he has said, it's okay. But this one, he loves, adores, wakes up. This is like it for him. Obviously, I don't know if he smelled it on other people and if he would think the same, but we both love this fragrance on me. All right, I even have tried the ISSEY MIYAKE for males, and we tried different ones on him. They're lovely. I do like them. It's not like not, but it hasn't been the signature for him. So let's concentrate on this. Also at airports and things like that, because this is so easy to find, is everywhere. I have smelled the cousins or sisters or the same fragrances from the same house, but different, right? And they all have something. They all I like. So perhaps if there's an ingredient that goes better with your skin or with your personality, try the house of ISSEY MIYAKE, because as in every other house, it has a cord or a line through them all. So there's something that sort of smells similar, or that it reminds you, or that you recognize the house. I think they all, niche houses or popular houses sort of have that. But then each has their own lane. And so that's where you can really find the one that works for you. And I smell, like I said, others. There are some more playful, there's some more fruity, there's some more sweeter, there's some more distinct with a certain flower, things of that nature. Anyhow, maybe you knew all this already. Let's talk about this. And so if you've been with me, you know I always go to the website Fragrantica, which all or most perfumes go there. So I think it's a very neutral way to start. And then I go to the actual ISSEY MIYAKE website. And so the D'LSSEY ISSEY MIYAKE for women is distinctly for women. It doesn't say for men and women like a lot of scents do now. Now it says main accords, floral, fresh, white floral, ozonic, aquatic, and rose. Now, you know I love floral because it opens up and it's optimistic. I like it. It's fresh. I love that for every day or for any occasion. Look, it feels clean, smells clean. White floral, again, I love white floral. It's my favorite. But then it has ozonic and aquatic. Now, those two, when I know they're in a fragrance, I know I'm not gonna like the fragrance. So this is different and rare. Why? Because usually the aquatic gives me this smell of a very, for male, very sporty scent, very beachy sort of scent. And usually, I don't know, it's something about them I don't identify and I don't feel comfortable in, and they don't put me in a good mood, to tell you the truth. So when I see that, I usually don't go for the scent. However, I don't distinguish it here. I don't distinguish that I'm talking about here, and I love this fragrance. Now the last one is rose. I love rose, so that one works. All right, so we know that. Now before I read a little bit, I usually spray it on. It's very interesting because I feel I really don't have to smell it because I know it so well. However, I will put it on just to see what happens to my mood and everything else, right? Yeah, this one, I know it well. So this is more or less what I do, cheek, and then because it stays wet enough. And I tell you, this one is long lasting. It'll last on me all day, really. So reading, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It does go, it kind of crosses through something deep. Maybe it's just me, but it's a favorite. It is a well-loved, so I don't think it's just me. So it says, L'Eau D'LSSEY by ISSEY MIYAKE is a floral aquatic fragrance for women. Again, surprise. I don't like aquatic, surprise. L'Eau D'LSSEY was launched in 1992. The nose behind this fragrance is Jacques Cavalier. The top notes are lotus, melon, freesia, rosewater, rose, cologne, and cyclamen. Wow, maybe that's all that you smell to begin with. The middle notes are lily of the valley, lily, water peony, and carnation. And the base notes are musk, tuberose, exotic woods, osmanthus, cedar, sandalwood, and amber. Many ingredients. I usually like not so many, but I'll tell you, I identify already some of my favorite ingredients, and I'll tell you which they are. Freesia, I have found that sweetness of freesia I enjoy. It has rosewater, rose, which rose I love in any fragrance. Of course, it has lotus, melon, cologne. I don't know much about those, but I guess melon is good because it brings some fruitiness. It brings some, for me, fruitiness is optimism, activation, you know, energizing. So maybe that will be considered some kind of fruit. I mean, it's a fruit, but fruity. But in any case, I don't want to confuse you. So rosewater, rose, freesia, I'm like, yeah, I like those. Now, this is very interesting. I also like Lily of the Valley. That's one of my favorites. So when I see Lily of the Valley in a fragrance, I'm already interested for sure because it's understated, but it gives an elegance. And so Lily of the Valley, that would have called me in. And the other big one is Peony. Peony is another one that I find gives sweetness without being too much, overwhelming. And somehow, every time I see Peony in a fragrance, I tend to enjoy. So Lily of the Valley, Peony, Rose, I would have wanna order this if I wasn't smelling it. And then the base notes. So there's musk. I like musk. Tuberose is another one. I really enjoy tuberose. And then, of course, it has amber. Amber to me is elegance. Now, I wouldn't say this fragrance would be the most elegant. Like, I don't find this elegance with it, but I find this very youthful elegance, if that makes sense. So it's not so settled and grounded. It's a little more upbeat and a little more out there. I guess a little bit like me. but it has an elegance to it, like a pretty princess, if that makes sense. Of course, now I'm a lot older. I started using it on my 30s, so it was perfect for then. But I still wear it. And there's, of course, the sandalwood, the cedar, some woods. So those are grounding, believe it or not, even though it's very upbeat and sweet, but it gives that profound grounding. I think that's some things that I truly enjoy. So let me keep going and then we'll wrap it up with the other web. It says, ISSEY MIYAKE thought about creating a perfume that was as clear as spring water, combining the spray of a waterfall, the fragrance of flowers, and the scent of springtime forest. Springtime forest and flowers. Yeah, it's getting me there. Never read this before. This is nice. It says, L'Eau D'LSSEY achieved an enormous popularity, especially in the United States in the 90s. L'Eau D'LSSEY is an aquatic floral scent with transparent notes of lotus, freesia, and cyclamen, and juicy melon. The middle notes of peony, lily, and carnation reveals the perfume's character. The end notes are refined woody scents and the notes of cedar, sandal, musk, and amber. It was created in 1982 by Jacques Cavalier. Okay, it repeated itself a little bit there, but excuse me. So there you have it. Now let's go to the actual website, see what it says. Very short and sweet. I'll read something and then I'll tell you my thoughts. Who do I think it is for? I mean, my thoughts kind of, I sort of mention it, but I'll tell you a little bit like I usually do with most fragrances. So it says, L'Eau D'LSSEY is a minimal and innovative perfume. When flower meets water, a fresh floral aquatic with woody trail. At the top toads, heart develops like, okay. At the top floats a duo of flowers, the rose and the lotus note. So rose and lotus note. The heart develops a light sensuality, combining a lily accord and a bouquet of fresh flowers. The precious wood background concludes the scent trial brilliantly. I don't know, it's my beloved. What can I tell you? I agree. I love it, sensuality, light sensuality. Again, there's this youthful, active. So I wore this a lot to the office, and like I mentioned before, and I was doing very well in the corporate America, and so I think it matched. It gave me a distinct scent, not very invasive, but strong and sweet and flowery and feminine, but then it had some grounding. So you smell it when I walked in a room. I know people smell it, but it's not something that is in front of you or invasive. It is just something that becomes you, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like it's part of me, obviously part of whoever is wearing it. There's another saying here which is interesting. At the origin, water, a source of life, the essential element, a raw material. Water that gave life to ISSEY MIYAKE's first fragrance, meeting the elements. A bottle shaped by water, the harmony of simple and subtle forms. Yes. Look, minimalistic. A fragrance whose scent evokes that of a drop of water on a woman's skin. That's sensitive, soft. A fragrance with a sharp and slender bottle inspired by a vision of the full moon on top of the Eiffel Tower, and whose brushed metal covers is delicate, surmounted by a transparent veil. Well, I guess Not anymore, right? Now it's all metal. But that's interesting. I didn't know it was the Eiffel Tower and the moon. Well, there you have it. Minimalistic, right? It's interesting because when I think of minimalistic, I would think something like you barely will smell it, or very, very subtle scent. This is not. It's sharp. I mean, like I said, you smell it. It's there. Is apologetic. What do you say that word? But it doesn't apologize. It shows up. But it shows up in a very nice, youthful, elegant sort of way. A little upbeat, so activity. And again, it can be used for a formal something. It can be wear through the day for every day, you know. It could be worn at night because it has that sharp top. There's something sweet that does come through. I don't know if to call it sweet or floral or what, but there's a high note in there. High note of music. There's a high note in there. So I say high vibrancy, kind of like flowers, because most fragrances that are flowery, they kind of open up and take you. This one is cuts through in that sweetness of that floral something. And I think it goes all the way in to the heart. I don't know. That's maybe why it has become one of my favorites, because I have built a relationship with it. So I don't know. I would be very curious. I would love to hear your thoughts if you have smelled this fragrance. Do I recommend it? Yes, of course. Do I smell it for 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond? Yes, probably 30s, 40s, 50s. And then, I don't know, 60s, 70s, I don't know. I think it might be too sweet for you or too upbeat. Maybe you want something more subtle, but hey, who knows? My mom wears a fragrance that I would have thought is more for very youthful, and she's in her 70s, and it suits her very well. I don't think this one would suit her, for example, nor my sister. My sister is in her late 20s, and I don't think this suits her. So very interesting. That's why I would love to hear your comments and see what do you think of this fragrance. So those are my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you do smell it, I hope you enjoy it and you love it as much as I do. And please subscribe to my channel. Please ring the bell so you know when I upload videos, and thumbs up. And if you're interested in more fragrance reviews like this one, I do have a whole category just on fragrance. So thank you very much for watching. See you later. Bye.